Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take a whole stack of information and really unpack the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight specifically for you. Today, we're embarking on, well, quite a mission. We're exploring this really bold, almost unbelievable promise, achieving English fluency in just 30 days. And get this, starting from absolute zero. Sounds like science fiction, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It sounds incredibly ambitious, almost too good to be true, perhaps. But our source material today, this comprehensive guide, 30 Nang Dum Vung Tien Nguyen, Huynh Dinh Toan Dinh, which translates roughly to learn to speak English fluently in 30 days, starting from zero. And it doesn't just toss that claim out there lightly. It actually lays out a surprisingly structured and quite science-backed roadmap. It really challenges some, let's say, long-held beliefs about language learning, especially for adults.
Okay, right. So let's really unpack this for our listener. We know you're curious, you want to gain knowledge quickly, but also thoroughly, right? I'm feeling totally swamped. This deep dive is really tailor-made to cut through all that noise and show you what it truly takes, what's really involved in making significant strides in a new language in such a short time. But when this guide talks about fluency in, just a month, what kind of fluency are we really talking about here? Is it like native level? And maybe more critically, how can the brain possibly adapt that quickly? It feels like a really fundamental question about learning itself.
That's a crucial distinction to make right up front. And what's really fascinating, I think, is that the guide isn't promising you'll sound like a native speaker in a month. That would be, well, pretty much impossible, wouldn't it? And frankly, misleading. Instead, it very carefully defines fluency for beginners as functional fluency. Think of it as being able to hit the ground running, basically. So the ability to understand and respond in everyday conversations. We're talking practical stuff. Greetings, introductions, maybe asking for simple directions, making basic requests, and doing that with confidence, with minimal hesitation. It's about handling those basic real-world scenarios, making yourself understood and understanding enough to get by.
Ah, okay. So not debating philosophy then.
Not quite. Not on day 31, anyway.
But being able to actually use the language. In practical situations, it's less about knowing every single word, maybe, and more about applying what's most useful. And the source highlights something key here, doesn't it? The Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. How does that apply here? How does focusing on, 20% of something give you 80% of the results in language? Where's the leverage?
That's precisely it. It's all about efficiency. The core idea isn't to try and absorb the entire English language, which, let's face it, could take years and years. It's about strategically mastering roughly 500 to 1,000 high-frequency words and phrases. Now, that might sound surprisingly small, right?
It does, actually, compared to a whole dictionary.
But extensive research, people like Nation back in 2001, consistently shows that this core vocabulary is actually enough for basic functional communication. We're talking about understanding and being understood in the vast majority of everyday chats. You prioritize what you'll actually use most, the words and phrases that pop up again and again. So you're building this highly functional core that lets you engage almost immediately. It's about getting the biggest bang for your buck, linguistically speaking.
Like having a small toolkit that fixes most common problems instead of needing every specialized tool right away.
Exactly that kind of mindset.
Well,
Start speaking and understanding much faster.
and this isn't just some clever vocabulary trick, is it? The guide seems to go deeper into the science of why this rapid learning might even be possible. Like neuroplasticity. I remember hearing that adults were just, stuck when it came to languages.
That's a common misconception, yeah. But research, like Kuhl's work back in 2004, really changed our understanding. Neuroplasticity, it's the brain's incredible ability to reorganize itself, to form new neural connections. And this happens throughout life, even as adults. Your brain isn't like concrete, it's more like a dynamic landscape where you can build new paths. So those pathways for English, you can actively build and strengthen them, even in a focused 30-day period.
Okay, so the brain can change, but what about that idea that kids just soak up languages easily, the critical period?
Right, the critical period hypothesis. It suggests kids might learn languages more, let's say, effortlessly. But the key takeaway for adults isn't that it's impossible, far from it. It's that you can achieve comparable results with the right approach, structured exposure, consistent repetition. It's about the method. And then there's habit formation. Studies, like Lally's in 2009, suggest around 21 to 30 days of consistent practice is often enough to establish a new behavior. That's why this 30-day plan isn't just arbitrary. It aligns with that window for building foundational skills and making them stick, making them almost automatic.
So neuroplasticity lets the brain change. Habits lock in the practice. What else? The guide mentions other theories, right?
Yes, absolutely. Krashen's input hypothesis is a big one.
Yeah.
From 1982, but still so relevant. It emphasizes comprehensible input. That means language that's just slightly above your current level. You mostly get it, but there's a little stretch. That's the engine of acquisition. You have to understand, at least partially, to learn.
Right, you can't learn from just noise. It has to make some sense.
Precisely. And that's balanced by Swain's output hypothesis from 1985. This highlights that producing language, actually speaking it, writing it, is just as vital. It's the act of creating, of articulating thoughts in English that really strengthens your knowledge and builds fluency. You can't just consume, you have to create.
Input and output, like breathing in and breathing out.
That's a great analogy. It's a dynamic interplay. Both are fundamental to this 30-day framework.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me. It's not just a random list of tips. It's a system rooted in brain science. The core idea is this consistent, immersive, and structured practice for 60 to 90 minutes a day using 10 specific habits. And the goal, bypass translation, train your brain to just think in English.
Exactly. That's the ultimate aim, to make English processing and production feel natural, automatic, to get rid of that frustrating delay of translating your head. Imagine just having the thought appear in English.
Yeah.
That's the aspiration of fundamental rewiring.
Wow, okay. So with that science laid out, knowing our brains are more adaptable than we thought, let's get into the practical stuff. The toolkit, these 10 daily habits. Habit 1, building the foundation. Vocabulary, like getting the bricks for the house.
Indeed. Habit 1. Learn 10 high-frequency words daily. Just 10 minutes. Vocabulary is, well, it's everything, isn't it? The absolute bedrock. Nation's research showed that the top 2,000 words cover 85–90% of everyday conversation. So learning just 10 high-frequency words a day, that's 300 words in 30 days. It might not sound like a huge number, but it's a robust base. It lets you express a surprising amount right away. It aligns with the lexical approach, learning useful chunks. The power words first.
And you're not just staring at a list, right? You're making it active. The guide suggests flashcard apps like Anki or Quizlet.
Exactly. Those apps are brilliant because they use spaced repetition. Showing you the word just before you forget it really boosts retention. You focus on words from lists like the Oxford 3000, the most common ones. So day 1 might be hello, goodbye, please, thank you, name, want, go, eat, good, bad. The basic but essential. And the process is key. Say the word aloud. Focus on pronunciation like the 2 syllables in hello, shlo, then immediately make a simple sentence. My name is, I want, make it personal, make it real.
Connecting it to something meaningful.
Precisely. And the advanced tip takes that even further. Contextual anchoring. Based on Pivio's dual coding theory, you associate the word with real life. So for eat, you might actually touch your kitchen table, mimic eating, and say, I eat here, I eat pizza. It's multisensory visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Creates a much stronger memory trace than just abstract memorization. For please, imagine yourself asking politely, maybe gesturing, water, please. It locks it in.
Okay, so you've got some basic words, but just words aren't conversations. That brings us to habit 3, right? Basic phrases, another 10 minutes.
Exactly. Moving beyond single words to prepackaged chunks. This is where the language starts feeling really usable. Ray's research shows our brains process common phrases like, how are you, as single units, like one vocabulary item.
Ah, so it's less effort, less brain power needed.
Significantly less cognitive load, yes. You can communicate ethically much faster, even if your grammar isn't perfect yet. You deploy these meaningful chunks effortlessly, like ready-made Lego blocks.
So you spend 10 minutes a day memorizing maybe 5–10 phrases, things you'd use all the time.
Exactly. Greetings. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Requests. Can I have water, please? Where is the bathroom? Responses, I'm fine, thanks. No problem. Yeah. You write them, say them aloud, and then this is key. Use them in imaginary scenarios. Practice ordering food in your head. Can I have a sandwich, please? Thank you. Simulating real use embeds them.
And the advanced tip is about making it even more practical. A phrase bank.
Yeah. Organize phrases by context. Travel, shopping, meeting people. Then practice role-playing, even just with a mirror. Or record yourself. Say, excuse me, where's the bus stop? Imagine the response. Practice your reply. Recording helps check pronunciation and fluency. It makes it real, aligns with that sociocultural idea learning in context.
You know, if you learn, can you help me? I'm imagining asking someone, maybe practice variations like, could you help me with this? Build some muscle memory.
Precisely. You're preparing for the real world.
Now, habit 6. This one feels tricky for a beginner. Use an English to English dictionary. 5 minutes daily. Why not just translate? Seems easier.
It's a brilliant question. And a really strategic move for long-term fluency. Using a monolingual learner's dictionary, like Cambridge Learners, forces you to think in English. It trains your brain to bypass translation, which is a major bottleneck. Lawford's research showed this direct approach boosts retention and understanding of context. You're building direct English pathways.
So instead of word native language meaning, it's word English definition PLM meaning.
Exactly. It's like learning to ride the bike without training wheels from the start. A bit harder initially, maybe, but much better in the long run.
So you look up an unknown word, read the simple English definition, say, happy means feeling pleasure, then make a sentence, I am happy. Just 2-3 words like this a day.
Just that. A small, consistent step with a big payoff for direct comprehension.
And the advanced tip? Read the dictionary examples aloud.
Yes, and then create 3 variations of your own. So for happy, you might say, she's happy, I'm happy to see you. The dog looks happy. This active manipulation, using it different ways, really helps you notice how the word works, like Schmidt's hypothesis suggests. You make the word your own. Internalize it deeply. For tired, say, I'm tired, then are you tired? The baby is tired. Makes it stick.
Okay, that makes sense. It's about immersion within your own head almost, which ties into input. Habit 2 is about listening, right? 15 minutes of simple audio, tuning the ear.
Absolutely the starting point. Back to Krashen's input hypothesis. Listening to simple English audio trains your ear for sounds, rhythms, intonation, vocabulary, and context. Builds those crucial auditory processing skills. You need to be able to decipher spoken language to understand and eventually speak naturally. It's like learning the music of the language.
And the guide recommends specific beginner-friendly stuff, like podcasts or YouTube.
Yeah, finding the right level is key. Beginner episodes of All Ears English, YouTube like English Addict with Mr. Steve, BBC Learning English Beginner stuff, apps like LingQ, Duolingo Stories. The crucial part isn't catching every single word. That's frustrating. It's about getting the gist. If you hear, I like coffee, you get the idea of preference. Building intuitive understanding.
And the advanced tip here is active listening, repeating phrases.
Yes. Pause after key sentences, repeat them aloud, mimicking the speaker's intonation and rhythm. Like if you hear, what's your name? You say it, getting that rising tone right. It's called shadowing. DeBott's research showed it significantly improves pronunciation and fluency. You're vocally tracing the sound, bridging, listening, and speaking. So, hearing nice to meet you, you repeat it, focusing on the stress on meet.
That leads perfectly into habit 5, imitating native speakers' pronunciation. 5-10 minutes. This tackles that big anxiety point for many learners, right? Sounding clear.
You hit it right on the head. Pronunciation is critical for being understood. This habit uses minimal pair practice, fine-tuning your ear and mouth, distinguishing and producing smaller sounds like bit versus beat or ship versus sheep. Research supports this for clarifying sounds that might be tricky depending on your first language.
Like the AVSI sounds? Or LVSR for some speakers?
Exactly. The guide suggests resources like Rachel's English on YouTube or shiporsheep.com for lists. You focus on your specific challenges, practice light, and write aloud, feeling the difference your tongue makes.
And technology helps here too. Pronunciation apps like ELSA Speak.
Oh, massively. These apps give real-time AI feedback. It's immediate and objective. You say, I like rice. The app compares it, shows you exactly where you're off, maybe the R or the vowel. You adjust based on that precise feedback. It creates that crucial auditory feedback loop Fleach talked about. You're not guessing if you sound right, It builds clarity and confidence, sound by sound. Practice ship versus sheep. The ship is big, the sheep is white. Recording helps ensure that it is clear.
Okay, so you're training your ears and mouth. Then habit 8, another seemingly big leap. Watch English videos without subtitles. 15-20 minutes daily. Why no subtitles? Isn't that super hard?
It sounds hard, but it's about accelerated immersion, like taking off the training wheels again. It forces your brain to process the spoken language directly without relying on reading. Vanderplank's research showed this authentic media exposure boosts comprehension and cultural understanding. It trains your brain to handle the natural flow of speech, even with gaps in understanding. You learn to tolerate ambiguity.
So again, it's not about understanding every word, but getting the main ideas, using simple stuff like Peppa Pig.
Exactly. Peppa Pig is great for its clear, repetitive language.
Yeah.
Or Duolingo YouTube, VOA Learning English. Focus on key ideas, emotions, the general story. You'll start noticing phrases like, let's play, or it's sunny today, and repeating them. Your brain starts connecting the dots.
And shadowing helps here too, repeating lines.
Definitely. Pause, repeat a key line, mimic the intonation. Here, I'm so excited, say it, emphasizing excited like the character. Maybe jot down 2-3 new phrases you hear. It actively bridges listening and production. Watching Peppa, repeat, it's a sunny day. Then try using it yourself. Turns consumption into creation.
Okay, so lots of input, listening, watching, but then you need output. Which brings us back to Swain's hypothesis and habit 4, speak aloud to yourself, 10 minutes daily, your own private practice.
Exactly. And it tackles that huge barrier, anxiety. Horowitz wrote about how fear of mistakes paralyzes learners. Speaking aloud alone in a safe space reduces that fear massively. You spend 10 minutes narrating your actions or surroundings. I'm sitting, the chair is blue, I drink water, it's cold. You're immediately using the words and phrases from habits 1 and 3. While eating lunch, I eat rice. It's good. I like rice. It makes English part of your immediate reality.
And the advanced tip is recording yourself to catch errors.
Yes, use a voice app. Listen back, not to criticize, but to identify areas to improve. Maybe you said, I eat rice instead of I eat the rice. The key, based on Ellis's work, is correcting just one specific error daily. Targeted correction boosts accuracy over time without overwhelming you. Getting dressed, I wear a red shirt. Listen back, realize it needs a A. I wear a red shirt. Builds fluency and accuracy.
Then there's habit 7, which is really intriguing. Engage in English inner monologue. 10 minutes. Talking to yourself, but inside your head. Trying to change your thinking language.
Yes, precisely. It aims for that profound shift, rewiring your brain to think directly in English, strengthening those neural pathways. Parody suggested this helps make English your default thinking language. It eliminates that clunky mental translation step, makes speaking much more spontaneous.
So you consciously narrate your thoughts in simple English for 10 minutes. I want coffee. It's cold. Trying not to translate.
Exactly. Start simple. While walking. Street is busy. Many cars. Red light. I cross the street. A continuous internal stream of English thought. Your own private English world.
And the advanced tip is to make it a story. Our hero walks to the store.
Yeah, it sounds quirky, but McDrory and Alterio's work suggests storytelling enhances creativity and fluency. It encourages more complex thought patterns, connecting ideas naturally in English, instead of just, I need milk. Think, I need milk for my coffee. Important fuel. Builds flowing thinking patterns.
Okay, so you're building this internal engine, but eventually you have to talk to real people. Habit 9, practice with language exchange partners. 10, 15 minutes, a few times a week. How do you manage that initial interaction?
That's where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? Applying all that practice live, it gives you real-time feedback, authentic context, sociocultural theory in action. The key for beginners is short, structured conversations. Keep it manageable to build confidence. Small, brave steps.
Platforms like Tandem or HelloTalk are good for this.
They're excellent, designed for exactly this. Start simple. Hi, I'm new to English. I like music. What do you like? Keep it basic. And crucially, ask partners to correct just one error per session. If you say, I am student, they gently correct to, I'm a student. Focused feedback, not overwhelming, helps you internalize corrections without getting discouraged.
And the advanced tip, prepare a cheat sheet.
Definitely. Have phrases ready like, can you repeat that? Or, I don't understand. But practice them beforehand so you can manage the conversation if you get stuck. Reduces panic. And if you both agree, recording the chat lets you review later. Identify patterns, track improvement, makes every chat a learning opportunity. On Tandem, if you say, I live in big city, get corrected to a big city, you note it, practice it, build those skills.
Okay, real interaction is key. And the final habit, habit 10, seems to tie it all together. Keep a simple English voice journal, 10 minutes daily, speaking plus reflection.
Exactly. Voice journaling, as Peyton showed, boosts retention through expressive output. You're actively retrieving and using the language to articulate your thoughts about your day. It reinforces vocabulary and fluency in a personal, low-pressure way, still demanding active use, but less intimidating than talking to someone else immediately.
Just simple sentences about your day. Today I learn English. It's fun. I eat good food. Using words from the other habits.
Precisely. Keep it simple initially. Use the words you're learning. And save the recordings. They become this amazing, tangible record of your progress. You can literally hear yourself improve from day 1 to day 30. Hugely motivating.
And the advanced tip involves transcribing and revising.
Yes, once a week, maybe transcribe a short bit. Find and revise errors. Change I go school to I go to school. For more feedback, share recordings or transcripts on places like LangCorrect. Integrates more formal error correction, refining accuracy over time. Record. I eat breakfast. It's eggs. Realize it should be. They're eggs. Correct it. Builds fluency in grammar.
So it's clear this isn't just 10 random habits. There's a structure, a progression over the 30 days. It's a roadmap.
Absolutely. It's carefully structured week by week. You build progressively, never feeling totally overwhelmed. Week 1. Build the foundation. Focus is habits 1, 3, 6 vocabulary, phrases, dictionary, goal. Learn 70 words, 20 phrases. Practice basic greetings confidently, like learning good, please, and using them. The coffee is good, please.
Okay, foundation first. Then week 2.
Week 2. Develop listening and speaking. Integrate habits 2, 5, 8, listening, pronunciation, videos without subtitles, goal. Understand short conversations, pronounce 10 minimal pairs accurately, like light versus right. Watch a Duolingo video, practicing I beat the game, clearly.
Makes sense. Building the input-output channels. Week 3.
Week 3, build confidence. Bring in habits 4, 7, 9, self-talk, inner monologue, language partners. Aim, speak for 10 minutes daily without hesitation. Hold 2, 3 short conversations. Moving from internal practice to real use. Think, I go to the park, then say in a chat, I like parks.
Getting braver.
And the final week, week 4. Week 4, achieve functional fluency. Consolidate everything, focusing on habits 8, 9, 10 more videos, more partner practice, voice journaling. Goal by day 30. Understand 80% of a 5-minute video. Hold a 5-minute conversation naturally. Putting it all together. Watch Peppa. Understand most of it. Record in your journal. Today I talked to a friend on Tandem. It was good.
That's quite a progression. But any intense journey has challenges. What are the common hurdles for beginners here? And how does the guide suggest tackling them? Knowing the pitfalls helps.
That's a really important question. The guide highlights 3 main ones and offers practical fixes. First, the fear of speaking. That's shyness, embarrassment, solution. Practice alone first. Habit 4. Build confidence in private. Also, join supportive communities like Reddit's English Learning. Find non-judgmental spaces.
So ease into it gently. What else?
Limited vocabulary. Big frustration when you can't find the words. Solution. Intense focus on high-frequency words, habit 1, and learn circumlocution describing words you don't know. Instead of phone, say thing for calling people. Keeps the conversation moving. It's like word charades.
Okay, work around the gaps. And the third one?
Frustration. Progress can feel slow sometimes, especially midway. Solution. Track improvements with recordings. Habit 10. See and hear your progress. And crucially, celebrate small wins. Understanding a new phrase, nailing a sound. Positive reinforcement keeps you going.
That's really practical advice. So after the 30 days, you have this functional fluency. Amazing achievement. But learning doesn't stop, right? What's next? How do you keep building?
Definitely not. The guide suggests ways to keep growing. One is more structured role-play scenarios. Practice specific situations. Ordering food confidently. Asking for directions clearly. Can I have the pasta? How do I get to the museum? Makes your English immediately useful.
Targeted practice. Makes sense.
Another fun one. Language games. Describe it. For an apple, it's round, red, crunchy. Pushes descriptive vocabulary, thinking on your feet. Or 20 questions in English. Makes practice playful.
Keeps it engaging. And the last suggestion.
Creative output. Record a 1-minute video blog or vlog. Start simple. Hi, I'm learning English. Day 31. Boosts confidence. Provides a visible record of progress. You can see and hear how much you've grown. Incredibly motivating.
So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you, our listener? This deep dive into 30 Ngai Namvung Tiangon really shows that, yes, achieving functional English fluency in 30 days is ambitious, but it seems genuinely attainable. It's about consistent, focused effort across these 10 science-backed habits, from learning the right words, immersing yourself, thinking in English, to actually talking to people. It's about working smart.
What's truly fascinating, I think, is that systematic approach. Training your brain to process and produce English naturally, skipping the translation step, and crucially, embracing mistakes as part of learning, not failure. Focusing on building solid habits lets your confidence really take off. It shows how adaptable our brains are with the right approach.
And connecting this to the bigger picture. This 30-day framework isn't just about English, is it? It feels like a blueprint for rapid skill acquisition in almost any area. Which leads to a final question for you to think about. How might these principles, neuroplasticity, habit formation, comprehensible input, consistent output, how might they transform your learning elsewhere in life? What other superpowers could you unlock by applying this structured, science-backed approach? Whether it's learning software, an instrument, a new field of study, what could you achieve? We'll leave you with that thought to explore.